Hello, everyone. This is Mike from Dimensional Walking, and today we're going to talk about some of the information that I have gotten from abductees and contactees over the years. I did over 1,500 interviews, and I just want to stress one thing when I say abductees and contactees. I'm kind of talking about the same thing. I think abductees are actually contactees because many times they will get some really good information from people from alien beings. And contactees basically are kind of abducted too because basically they have no power. Basically, contactees are under the spell, I guess, of the alien beings for the most part. So probably the correct term, a better term would be experiencers. And so I like to use that word experiencer rather than contactee and abductees. So, and there's a lot of confusion between the two terms. So, anyways, we're going to talk about information I received from experiencers in the past. I'm going to probably do a couple series of videos on it. There's a vast amount of knowledge and information I received. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe all this information, but I think there's some really good things that I'd like to share with you that I had gotten over the years. And I probably, you probably have heard before, I've said I've done this for over about 50 years. So in those 1,500 plus interviews and conversations, discussions, whatever you want to call them, I did pick up some really good things and interesting things. Some of it is pretty far out. I'll try to stay away from that as much as possible, but some of it is still quite interesting, even if it's far out. Anyways, so today we're going to talk about the 5 categories that I've been told exist in the different universes and different galaxies and the different solar systems around the universe, basically around the big universe. Okay. And there's a series of these categories. I guess some of the people that talk to me about it would talk about categories, and others would talk about stages. So it doesn't make any difference to me. We can call them stages, I guess. And consistently, they would tell me that there were 5 stages, okay, of these type of I guess we'll call them kind of civilizations, although I guess the earlier stages weren't civilizations at all. So it's 1 through 5, and 5 being the absolute superior category, and 5 being the very minimum primitive category. So we'll start with number 5. Number 5 basically is kind of the whole test tube thing. In number 5, they were like the one-cell creatures and one-cell animals, or multi-cell animals, but only with a few cells, I guess we'll call it. And they exist on millions and millions of planets. The aliens told the experiencers that they would mix them up, I guess, in a lab, and they would put them on these different planets around the universe. And there's probably millions and millions of these type planets that exist today. That's stage 1. Okay, I'm sorry, that's stage 5. And then we got stage 4. Now, stage 4 is a little more advanced, and these are multi-cell. These would be animals, basically, I guess. And to give you an example, would be sort of like the dinosaurs, or some creatures like the dinosaurs. So these were creatures that basically had developed through evolution, and they also did mention that sometimes they take some of these creatures in stage 4 and they move them from planet to planet, or from solar system to solar system, and kind of speed up the evolution process. So anyway, so these are creatures that had minimum emotional to them. Probably no souls, but just minimum emotion to them. And they were very dominant, of course, on Earth for thousands and millions of years, until man came along, of course. later on. Okay, so that's category 4. Category 3 is where we are right now. Okay, we are humans, and we're in this category. There are aliens moving among us as we speak right now, and that's a whole nother subject. But for the most part, we dominate the earth right now, and we are pretty messy. We're a very messy bunch. We get involved in wars, and we do all kinds of pretty nasty, messy stuff here. We're highly emotional, extremely emotional, and that's probably part of our problem. We're probably over emotional. So anyways, but some people here on Earth now, and there's not many of them, but they can manifest things. There are some people starting to develop the ability to manifest things, which really puts them at odds with the vast majority of the people that live here, which basically cannot manifest, don't even understand what the word really means. So anyways, there is an evolution going on. There's no doubt. It's maybe a rapid evolution, and it may be partially caused by some of the alien beings here that are either teaching humans to evolve, or showing them the way, I guess. So anyways, that's stage 3. That's where we hang out, in stage 3, or category 3, we'll call it. Now, the next one is category 2. Now, category 2, these particular planets and beings that live on these planets and solar systems or galaxies, all these different categories, they basically still need resources to build things. But there's more and more of them that are starting to manifest. They're starting to being able to manifest. So they are a level above our level, which is 3. But one thing they have done, they've been able to eliminate diseases, and they basically can live forever if they want to. So some of them are thousands of years old, and they just keep on learning what interesting things they can learn on their planet or wherever they reside in. But they still need resources to build things. They're not totally a manifested civilization or organization. Okay, now we go to the super advanced. That is category 1 or stage 1. Here, everything is manifested. Everything is manifested. No resources are needed. It can be manifested through their mind. And I'm sure that in the middle of all this, there's probably very few humans here. These are probably more non-human type entities. In fact, I meant to mention you in category 2. Those are probably grays. A lot of grays. Aliens are there. Maybe some Pleiadians, grays, reptilians are also there. Now this category 1 I'm talking about now are almost godlike, because they manifest everything. And at this point, there is no humans involved in category 1. Not humans as we know it, those emotional beings we call ourselves. So, how does category 3, where we live, advance to 2 and 1? So this is what I was told. In order to get to 2, what the humans would have to do is they would have to resolve a major crisis to their planet. They would have to have the ability, or develop the ability, to do a major crisis resolution. And in this particular case, I'm just going to give you an example. They didn't talk about this exactly, but I believe a good example would be the climate crisis that we're gonna live through, or we are living through now, but it's going to get extremely intense in the future. And as you probably know, if you follow the channel, I've talked about climate change quite frequently, sometimes with the relation to aliens, sometimes not. But anyways, if we are able to resolve the climate crisis on our own and save our planet, then I believe we are on our way to category 2 or stage 2, which will be pretty incredible, actually. Now, from stage 2 to stage 1, now we have to take a quantum leap. We would have to become probably less emotional because everything in stage 1 is very minimally emotional, because emotions have caused some issues, obviously. That's why we're probably stuck in stage 3 at this point. So in stage 1, we're going to have less emotion, but we're also going to have the ability, or find the ability, to actually move our civilization or our people to a completely another dimension or another galaxy or some other place, because there is some other things coming up in the future that's going to affect us, or probably cause an extinction event. And one of them for sure is that our sun eventually, now this is millions of years in the future, but our sun will eventually implode and there won't be any more sun. So that'll probably eliminate the Earth. So if we get to a stage in which we can move completely off our planet into either another dimension or another universe, then we will make it to stage 1, which is probably the godlike stage that we're all trying to get to. And maybe we all are. I mean, as a civilization, that's probably what we should always strive for. Anyways, that's it for now. I just wanted to give you some of that. That's a bit far out, I understand. So please try to be kind with the comments. But this is what I was told. And this didn't come from one person. This came from quite a few people. A very similar scenario, these 5 stages. So I believe there is something to it. And these people that told me were all independent. They didn't know each other. They weren't sharing stories. I've really never read this online, although there could be some other people out there saying the same thing. I don't doubt it. Anyways, until we meet again, if you like us, we need your subscriptions. I would appreciate you subscribing. And if you need to send any kind of communication outside of commenting here, please send it to dimensionalwalking@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.